Into the halfway stage now we go in the Champions League. Of course, which clubs are on the brink of elimination and which clubs are on the brink of the knockout stages. We're going to take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks. Bam's Gaming, a prediction video today before match number 4 in this year's Champions League, and we'll get to that in just a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button back to all things Champions League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski, of course, some good results, of course, and some shockers, of course, to review, and we'll take a look at them in just a second. Of course, big shout out to VRPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But of course, we're going to waste no more time and jump straight in the deep end and have a little look at what I'm talking about. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the prediction league, and look at this. Look at this. I started off okay, match number 1. I then went off the rails with 30 points, but I'm back with an absolute zinger. Oh yeah, let's take a look at it then. Of course, how I did compared to you guys. Of course, kicking it all off with Marseille against Sporting Lisbon. 4-1 it was for Marseille. Somebody said Marseille were shit in the Champions League, but they're not. 4-1 flex right there. I went with a draw against a Sporting side who turned over Spurs quite convincingly. Bayern though, 4-5-0 demolition job over Pinson. I went with a 3-0 on that one. Got 4 points on there. Of course, Frankfurt 0, Spurs 0. 1-1 of course was my pick. 4 points for me on that one. Internazionale did beat Barcelona. Went with I got a 2-1 win on that one. 4 points in the bag there. Bruges 2-0 win over Atletico. I went with a 0-0. 2-0 it was. Big result that for Bruges. Meanwhile, Porto 2, Leverkusen 0. 1-0 of course was my pick. Leverkusen of course now since fired their coach. Xabi Alonso's coming in there, and then hopefully he'll turn that shit around. Napoli 6-1 demolition job of Ajax. I went with a 2-1. 4 points on the board on that one. Liverpool 2-0 win over Rangers. 3-0 win for me. 4 points right there. Leipzig 3-1 over Celtic 2-1 of course. 4 points in the bag on that one. Look at this. Look, it's not. Is it that good? It's good. Oh shit. Of course, Salzburg 1-0 win over Zagreb. I went with a draw, just the 1 point there. Benfica 1-1 against Paris. I got them bang on the nose. 8 points for me on there. Booster played on this one. Juventus 3-1 win over Havia. 2-0 win for me. Just 8 points. If I actually played the boost on here, I would have got 16 bloody points. Dortmund 4-1 demolition job with Sevilla. Lost his job. Matey boy Lopetegui could be on his way to Wolves. Sampaoli's come in there, former Marseille coach, I believe. He's in there taking over the reins now for Sevilla, who've had a shit start to domestically and a shit start, of course, in the Champions League. Man City 5-0 demolition job of Copenhagen. I went with the 3-0. Real Madrid 2-1 win over Shakhtar. Got that one bang on the nose. 8 points as well for that one. And of course, bottom of the shop here, we've got Chelsea 3-0, 2-1 it was. Okay, can anybody beat me on this? Can anyone actually challenge me? Let's have a little look. I'm in 11th, which is fine. We'll rectify that. But motherfucking yes! Get in there, motherfucking yes! Top of the bill there. I told you. Yes, let's go big picture. Let's go bloody big. Yes, get in there. 60. You cannot beat me. You cannot beat me. 63 points on the board. Absolutely incredible stuff. This guy was close though. Inikide, 84 points, 62. Well done. Get some time in, pal. Get some time in. 63 points. I'm gonna explode. Then Vinny up there, 47. Blah blah blah. Who cares about the rest? But you know, if your name's in there, smash the old thumbs up. And if you're impressed with my 63, you gotta smash the thumbs up as well. So get the thumbs up in there. Of course, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But of course, as you can see, I'm not doing that good in the main league. I screwed up early. I didn't press my booster in one of the things. But I'm giving you guys the head start. But Mario Casillas still leads 149, so give him some slack there. Pin Predict up there with 149 as well, so of course joint lead. But I'm big mover from 50 up to 11. I think I don't know. I don't even know what this little number is here. But anyway, regardless, I'm within striking distance of taking over that shop. Douglas, bloody James Horn, he's there again. Oh gosh. But anyway, those are the chasing pack. Again, if you see your name, smash the thumbs up. See your name, smash the thumbs up. It does wonders for the old algorithm. And of course it gives you content just like this. But anyway, let's take a look at of course the Champions League positions then of course in the table. Let's get the deep end of course. In A, Group A, Napoli lead the charge 9 for 9, 3 for 3. Liverpool need it all to do though. They're still on the brink there, still potentially to qualify to the knockout stages, and maybe that might work in his favour. Club Bruges, though, they're on the brink of themselves qualifying for the knockout stages again. That'll be a team that teams will want to face in the knockout stages. They might have. They'll be considered one of the weaker options. Porto, again, it's still wide open. Anyone's take it. Even Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen can still get in there as well. Bayern, 3 for 3 for them. They look good, don't they? Inter Barcelona are going to have to scrap it out for that second spot. Sporting still lead the charge despite their loss to Marseille. Spurs and Frankfurt got it all to do as well in a very, very tight Group D, an interesting Group D. In Group E is Salzburg lead the charge there. Chelsea and Milan are in second spot joint there with Dynamo Zagreb into fourth. Real Madrid 3 for 3, of course, El Champions. Shakhtar Donetsk up there, Leipzig. Celtic got the wooden spoon. But not out of it, not out of it. A win for Celtic against Shakhtar and a point against Leipzig, you just don't know. Meanwhile, Man City 3 for 3 for them. Dortmund, of course, Sevilla need it all to do. Copenhagen, the wooden spoon. And then bottom of the pops there, we've got PSG and Benfica 11 on points. Again, it's not done and dusted just yet. But anyway, of course, if you want to get involved with the Prediction League, check out the links down below. We're going to jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look at the next games, which are, of course, coming at you this coming Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's jump in the deep end. I'm so happy with that scoreline, 63. Maccabi Haifa taking on Juventus this coming Tuesday. Then let's get the deep end on this one. Linda, just shout whenever you're ready for your thing. Linda? Okay. Maccabi Haifa against Juventus then, shall we? Of course, place of the 3 times to 9. Nothing for Maccabi Haifa. 3 for Juventus and 0 draws. Haifa, though, winning twice in the last 6. 33% form for them at the moment. Up against the Juventus side. Back-to-back wins for them. Allegri's boys are trying to respond to recent poor run of events. 42% form for them. Last round, though, over in Israel, it was a 1-0 win for Juventus. That was back in November 2009. Of course, Juventus, though, with a 3-1 win over Maccabi Haifa just the other day. Of course, Haifa taking on Maccabi Beni Reini in the Israeli league this weekend. I'm sure they're expected to win that game. Of course, Juventus taking on a difficult AC Milan side on the road, of course. Expected to lose that game, though. But the odds here for this game, 50-4 is your Haifa, of course, 10-7 on is Juventus, and 3-1 is the draw. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Juve on this one, 3 points in the bag, and potentially get himself back in the mix for qualification as well. Copenhagen up against, of course, Man City again at the Parken Stadium over in Denmark. Place of the 3 times to 9, 2 wins for City, another for Copenhagen, and 1 draw. Copenhagen, though, just 1 win in 6, 25% form for them right now up against the Man City side, who haven't lost in the last 12 games, 92% form for them, winning 5 of them outs, of course, and of course, last time they played each other over in Denmark, it was a 2-2 draw back in February 2009. City, though, pick up a 5-0 win in the reverse leg. Of course, taking on, who were they taking on? They're taking on Southampton this week, and then we'll expect to probably put matey boy Hussein Hartl out of a job, of course, over in Southampton. Copenhagen and taking on Nordsjælland this weekend. Of course, expected to win that game, but the odds for this one, we have 80-1 for Copenhagen, 8-1 on is your City, and 7-1 is your draw. I think he's going to play. I think matey boy's going to play here. Haaland, 3-1 win for me. City, 3 points in the bag again on this one. Next, of course, we have Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. They're going to be taking on Benfica, of course, over in La Paris, of course. Played to the 10 times turn 7, 3 for PSG, 4 for Benfica, and 3 draws, of course. PSG, though, unbeaten in the last 26 games, 92% form for them. Up against the Benfica side, unbeaten in the last 21 games, 83% form for them, of course. Last round, though, over in Paris, it was a 3-0 win for PSG back in October 2013. Of course, it was a draw last time around over in Benfica back in October, just the other day. Benfica taking on Rio Ave, of course, in domestic top flight in Portugal. PSG taking on Reims, of course, and both sides are expected to win those games as well. Of course, I've got to back Benfica here to get something out of this game. Their form is incredible. They're looking very, very good over in Portugal. Even though the divisions are probably comparable divisions, I think there's like 4 or 5 teams decent in Portugal, and the rest are pretty shite. And so apparently over in France, the same deal. There's probably 6 teams that are probably decent. The rest are shite. So I'm going to go with a draw here, even though Paris will fancy the chance. I think it's going to be a stubborn match, difficult match. In fact, changing my mind, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Paris. Just changed it. Meanwhile, Dortmund taking on Sevilla, of course, over at the Signal Iduna Park. Played the 5 times 2010. 2 wins for Dortmund, 1 for Sevilla, 2 draws, of course. Dortmund, though, won 3, lost 3 over the last 6, 50% form for them. Up against the Sevilla side with Georges Sampaoli in charge, 1 win in 6 for them. Last time played in Dortmund was a 2-2 draw back in March 2021. It was in the round of 16 in the Champions League. Meanwhile, Sevilla with a 4-1 loss to Dortmund last time around. Of course, taking on Bilbao this weekend. They're expected to probably lose that game, but with Sampaoli, could be a new manager bounce. Dortmund, though, taking on Bayern again. Bit of a zinger in the Die Klassiker. 7-4 on is your Dortmund, 65 is your 74 is the away win here. I'm going to go with a draw as well, I think, on that one. I think Sevilla, with new manager, will try and grind it out and get something from these games to kind of give themselves a bit of hope into the final couple of games. Celtic taking on Leipzig, of course, over at Celtic Park. Plays the 3 times 2018. 2 was Leipzig, 1 for Celtic, and 0 draws. Celtic, though, just 1 win in 5, 42% form for them. It's quite damaging, confidence-wise, playing in the Champions League, losing to Celtic. They've not been that good in Scotland since the Champions League kicked off. Leipzig, though, 50% form for them, 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. Last round, though, over in Celtic was a 2-1 win for Celtic back in November 2018. Celtic, of course, taking on St. Johnstone this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Leipzig taking on Mainz this weekend. They're expected to win that game as well. I'm going to go with a tight one here. I might even go 3-2 on this one, which would be a thrilling game for the neutrals. None the same. I did give you the odds. The odds right here, right now, we've got Celtic 11-5 for the Rich, 11-10 is your Leipzig, 13-5 is your draw. But I'm going with Celtic pick on this one all the way. Backing them, of course. Shakhtar Donetsk against Real Madrid, of course, over in Donetsk. Is it? Of course, now these two sides have played each other, got in my eyes 7 times 2015, 2 for Shakhtar, 5 for Real Madrid, 0 draws. Shakhtar, though, just 1 win in 4 for them, 58% form up against the Real Madrid side, unbeaten the last 13 games. Last time played each other over in Donetsk, it was a 5-0 win for Real Madrid back in October 2021. Real Madrid taking on Getafe this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Shakhtar are not in action, or are they? I don't think they're in action this coming weekend. But anyway, coming at you though, the odds 11-2 is your Shakhtar, 11-4 on is your Real Madrid, and 92 is the draw here. Back in, of course, I'm going to go with Real Madrid, 3-1 win, I think. 3 points in the bag, and away they go. Milan, AC Milan up against Chelsea, of course, coming at you at the Giuseppe Meazza. Played each other 9 times, done 4, 2 wins AC Milan, 6 wins to Chelsea, and we got 1 draw. Of course, Milan though just won. What we're looking at, 2 wins or 2 defeats past 6, 58% form up against the Chelsea side, also 58% form, pretty much identical records, just a little bit jumbled up a little bit over the last 6. Last time around in Milan in competitive action, do we actually have any competitive action? Not really. A lot of shit cups going on here, club friendlies, Russian Railways Cup, but anyway, they did play each other 3-0, of course, over in Stamford Bridge. Milan taking on Juventus this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Chelsea taking on Wolves, managerless Wolves this weekend. They're expected to win that game as well. Potter, of course, in charge. Going to go with a 1-1 draw here, I think. Point split right down the middle. 13% of the people have voted on that one. Again, didn't give you the odds, but the odds going in here, 90-10 is your AC Milan, 13-10 is your Chelsea, 5-2 is your draw. Going for a point apiece for me on this one. Zagreb up against Salzburg, coming at you over in Zagreb. Played each other 8 times, 2009. 2 wins for Zagreb, 4 for Salzburg, 2 draws, of course. Salzburg, they're winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form for them up against the Salzburg side. Unbeaten in the last 6 games. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 12 games, however, drawing 4 of the last 6, 67% form for them heading into this. Last round over in Zagreb, it was a 1-1 draw. That was in the Champions. Last time I played, there was a 1-1 draw in the qualifying round or whatever it is back in August 2016. Of course, Salzburg taking on Altest in the Bundesliga over in Austria. Of course, Zagreb not in action as well. Don't think they're in action until this game, so we'll see about that. Maybe it's cup over the domestic top flight there. Coming at you the odds right now. Right, we got 7-4 is your Zagreb, 6-4 is your away win. Salzburg and 12-5 is the draw. Going to go 2-1 win. Zagreb need to bounce back and get themselves some points in the bag. Next, of course, we have into Wednesday's games. It's Madrid up against Club Bruges. Of course, played each other 3 times, 2018, 1 win apiece and 1 draw. 50% form for Let's go right now. 1-3, lost 3 of course of the last 6. Bruges though, 5 wins of the last 6, 83% form for them heading into this. Of course, it was a 2-0 win for Bruges last time round, and last time played each other over in Spain. It was a 3-1 win for Atletico back in October 2018. Atletico taking on Girona this weekend. They're expected to win. Bruges taking on Westerlo, they're also expected to win that game. But the odds for this one, we have 2-1 on is Atletico Madrid here, 7-2 is draw, 5-1 is long shots. That's Club Bruges. Atletico at home are a different beast. Going to go with a 2-0 win for them, 3 points in the bag, and get himself back in the thick of things and maybe on the break. Next up, we have Napoli up against Ajax, of course, this time over in Naples. That's right, of course, over in Group A. That's right. Played each other just the one time. Of course, Napoli are 100% form. Haven't lost in the last 21 games. Goodness gracious me. Up against the Ajax side without a win now in 4 matches. Of course, 42% form for them over the last 6. Last time around, it was a 6-1 win for Napoli back in Amsterdam, of course. And Napoli taking on Cremonese this weekend. They're expected to turn them over quite convincing. As for Ajax, taking on Volendam over the Dutch flight, top flight over in the Dutchlands, of course. They're expected to both win those games, both Napoli and Ajax. But the odds here, 7-4 on is your Napoli, 10-3 is your 4-1 is your win. Confidence is high for Napoli on this one. 3-1 win. They're looking good domestically. They're looking good in the Champions League. Could they actually be contenders for a big-ass double? Sporting Lisbon up against Marseille. Of course, come match over in Group D. That's right, Sporting Lisbon. I played Marseille 3 times in 2017. They come into this, though, 67% form for them, winning 4 of the last 6. Up against Marseille side, just 1 defeated past 5. 58% form for them as they head into this match. Of course, they played each other 3 times. 2 wins for Marseille, nothing for Sporting, and 1 draw. Of course, it was a 4-1 win for Marseille in La France last time around. And last time played each other in Sporting, it was a friendly back in July 2018, it was a 1-1 draw, but it doesn't really count, does it? Of course, Marseille with taking on Ajaccio this weekend. They're expected to win that game over in Marseille. Sporting Lisbon go to Santa Clara Azores. Again, they're expected to win that game as well. The odds right here, right now, coming at you for this game. We've got Sporting Lisbon 6-5 for the victory, 21-10 is Marseille. 5-2 is your draw here. Tight. I don't know. I'm going to go with a draw myself, which might not go against the flow. I'm backing Marseille to get something out of this, to prove that they ain't no shitters. They have got something in them, and they could actually still compete within the group for qualification on this one. Next, of course, are Spurs against Frankfurt, this time over at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, played each other just the one time. Of course, it was a 0-0 draw over in Germany last time around. Spurs, though, just 1-4, 58% form for them right now, up against the Frankfurt side, also on 58% form, however, unbeaten in the last 4 games, pick up 3 wins and a draw to boot. Frankfurt taking on Bochum this weekend. They're expected to win that game over in Bochum. Spurs going to Brighton with new manager Bounce potentially there over at the Amex, but they're expected to win that game as well. But the odds for this one come at you over at Spurs, 58 on for Tottenham, 10-3 is draw, 92 is your Frankie on this one. I'm gonna go with 28% and the most popular vote right now. 2-1 win for Spurs, just enough. Get over the line. It ain't gonna be easy. It's definitely not gonna be easy. But of course, I do fancy them to get the 3 points. None the same. Victoria Pilsen up against Bayern, of course, come at you over in Pilsen at the Doosan Arena. Played each other 3 times. 2013, 3 wins for Bayern, nothing for Pilsen. No draws, of course. Pilsen, though, 2 wins the last 6, 42% form for them up against the Bayern side. Just 1 win. Sorry, 1 defeat at the last 6, 75% form for them moving forward into this game. Of course, it was a 5-0 drop in last round over in Germany. And last time they played each other in Pilsen, it was a 1-0 win for Bayern, of course. They played each other 3 times since 2013. And they've yet to concede a goal, have Bayern. But, of course, they're taking on Dortmund this weekend in Der Klassiker. They're expected to win that game, even though it's over in Dortmund. And Pilsen taking on Mlada Boleslav. They're expected to win that game as well. So both sides are fancied to win their game. So they might be coming into this with a bit of a spring in their step. Of course, Bayern taking on Dortmund, who are considered their biggest rivals for the championship over there. But the odds right here, right now, we've got Pilsen coming at you 13-1, 7-1 on is your Bayern, and 50-2 is your draw. What are we going here? I'm going with 3-0. 3-0 Bayern, 3 points in the bag, and away we go. 19% of the people have gone with that vote. None the same. Barcelona taking on Internazionale, of course, over at the Camp Nou. Played the 12 times, done 3, 7 wins for Barcelona, 2 for Internazionale, 3 draws, of course. Barcelona, they're winning 4 the last 6, 67% form for them. Up against the Inter side, who won 3, lost 3 of the last 6, 50% form for them, of course. They did play each other just recently. It was a 1-0 win over in Italy, and last time they played each other in Barcelona, it was a 2-1 for Barcelona back in October 2019. In fact, Barcelona just 1 loss against Inter over the last 6. They do take on Celta Vigo, though, this weekend. Barcelona are expected to win that game. Inter taking on Sassuolo. They're expected to win that game as well. Both sides should be looking for a bit of momentum heading into this game. But the odds right here, right now, we've got Barcelona 9-4 on for the Richie 7-2. Sure, 11-2 is your away win here. Going to go 3-2. Goals galore, 5 in it, but Barcelona nicking it in the end. Into the final 2 now as Leverkusen up against Porto, coming at you over in the Bay Arena. Play each other just 4 times, 2016, 2 for Leverkusen, 1 for Porto, and 1 draw. Of course, Leverkusen, no new manager bounce, 33% form for them, just 1-6. Up against Porto side, just 1 defeat past 5, 58% form for them heading into this. Last round over in Germany, it was a 2-1 win for Leverkusen. That was back in February 2020. It was in the round of 32. Leverkusen knocking out Porto, done the same, getting to the round of 16. Leverkusen taking on Schalke this weekend. They're expected to get into that. New manager bounce. Porto taking on Promenise over in the Portuguese top. They're also expected to win that game quite comfortably. The odds right here right now, Leverkusen 6-5 for the victory, 5-2 is your draw, 21-10 is your away win. Is it going to be a new manager bounce? I'm going to go with it. 2-1 win for me, Leverkusen, and 17% of the vote already have gone with that one. Then wrap it up. Here's Rangers taking on Liverpool over at Ibrox. They played each other just 3 times, done 8-1 for Rangers, 2 for Liverpool, and 0 draws. Of course, Rangers, those just 2 wins in the last 6, 33% form for them. Up against the Liverpool side, just 1 defeat in the past 6, 67% form for them heading into this match as well. Last time around, over in Ibrox, it was a friendly, it was a 1-0 win for Rangers. However, Rangers taking on St Mirren this weekend. They're expected to comfortably win that one. Arsenal are Liverpool's hosts this weekend in the Premier League. They're expected to lose, though, Liverpool. But I wouldn't rule that out. I think I've gone with a draw on that game in my own Premier League predictions. Make sure you check that out as well while you're here. But of course, on this one, 7-1 is your Rangers, 3-1 on is your Liverpool, and 70-4 is the draw. Going to go 3-1 here. Liverpool, again, can be a little bit wobbly at the back sometimes, but they should outscore them, and maybe we'll get some goals for Nunes and co. But that is my picks, guys. The link for the prediction league is in the description. Make sure you check that out. We haven't done my double yet. I haven't done my double. Where am I going to go with my double? If I go with this one, the booster, it's a gamble. It's a bit of a gamble on this one, but should I go for a dead cert? Should I go for a dead cert? I'm going to go dead cert on Atletico versus Club Bruges. Back in the boys. Predict every Champions League women's round. Not today. Maybe in the future, but yeah, going to go with that booster. So make sure you get your picks in as well. And make sure you smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the bell. But until then, guys and girls, that's all I've got. Make sure, of course, you join us for match number 5 right here at the Champions League. But until then, we're done.